Number 0, Fox Given. Number 115, Panty Breaker. Number 19, Enxion. Number 24, Orgy. Number 247, Bella Ciao. Number 28, The Crushinger. Number 281, Mia Steele. Number 313, Pixie Fox. Number 404, Fiat Punto. Number 431, Syntax. Number 57, Louvre. Number 591, Flisbee. Number 616, Van der Storm. Number 8, Toramoto. Number 82, November Pain. Number 83, Chuck Norah. And I may have missed somebody that is skating but wasn't skating the last game, I don't know. And on the bench we have Tinkerbull and Sabotage.
All right, and for Oslo Roller Derby, 108, Kiki Long Skates. 1314, Picante. 2, Feline. 321, Slaymo. 37, Guns N' Posies. 412, Rain Check. 42, and Captain, Panzermina. 455, Prosit the Ruiner. 46, Dark Mess. 59, Katla Nightmare. 6, Just Jeff. 64, Jenny Vidi Vici. 69, Barbara. 73, Hey Doodle. 79, Torture. 82, Bloody L. And we have the bench crew, Dawson, Killer Rosenkohl, and we have the lineup manager, Winter Wolf. Give it up for both teams.
And who in the audience has never seen a roller derby before? Nee, jullie niet. Okay, some people there. We will explain in the first few jams what the basic rules are so you know what you're actually looking at. And after that, if you have any questions, there's probably somebody in the audience who loves this sport and knows what they're talking about, so ask them questions if some things are not clear to you.
And also in the online stream, you can ask questions and they will send them to us and we will talk about it.
Exactly. Okay, I'm excited what this game will do. The clock is ready and the whistle blows. You have the rolling whistle for the start, then the 30 seconds will count down for the starting whistle of the first jam of this game. We have jammers behind the start line. They have the star on the helmet. They are the ones who need to get through the walls of blockers, and they are also the ones scoring points. The first pass through the pack is a strategical advantage for, in this case, Vienna. Lead jammer for Vienna, and that gives them the right to call off the jam for a maximum of 2 minutes, but they can call it off sooner than that. We see that now the jammer for Oslo is sitting down in the penalty box. This is a power jam. And the jammer for Vienna is out for a second scoring pass. So the first pass through, you do not have a score, you only can get the lead jammer status. And now in the third scoring pass, And torture jammer for Oslo back on track, now behind the tripod of Vienna, trying to push through, but that Vienna wall is so stable and strong that it is very hard to get through, but also the wall in the front strong enough for that call off for Vienna.
Yes, Pixie Fox calls it off. Long and good run.
And the second jam of this game has started.
And Pika is out, going for the lead. Or Picante. 1-3, 1-4. And we have a star pass. No, just Angshu took off her helmet and then put it on again.
And the call off from Picante. One scoring pass on the scoreboard for Oslo. 4 points added, 4 against 11. And Oslo, you get a shout out through the live stream. People are watching you. And Vienna in the front, the jammer for Oslo in the back, trying to get through that wall. And blockers from both teams very close together and making it look a little bit rough there. Now Oslo jammer is able to create some distance and only 2 blockers to pass now, but Vienna with 2 blockers, they are so strong now. Lead for Oslo, just Jeff.
And a really good blocking job by Vienna. Just Jeff is coming.
I have experienced that blocking as well.
Yes.
And
how does it feel?
oh, it's tough.
Yeah.
So in the front, we have the Crushinger trying to get through that wall of Oslo, also very strong. Offense, 1 blocker in blue trying to help their jammer in the front there. Now able to free the Crushinger and and multiplayer penalty called on a blocker from Vienna. That means that they were holding on to their teammates while the jammer of the other team was trying to get through that link, the link that they made by holding on, and that is not allowed, so that will give you 30 seconds in the penalty box. In the penalty box, you sit down, and when there is 10 seconds left, you are asked to stand as a non-verbal cue for the rest that your penalty is almost over.
So Oslo gets the lead again with the, penalty for Oslo, kicking long skates. So we have a power jam with the Pixie Fox. So Pixie Fox.
With Oslo being able to fully focus on defensive blocking because their jammer is in the penalty box. It was hard for Pixie Fox, but now they just get the lead status, so they have the strategic advantage to be able to call off the jam before the 2 minutes are up. A penalty for the pivot.
Feline got a penalty.
Kiki long skates now out their initial pass. Pixie Fox gets an easy no contact pass and calls off the jam.
Yes, so she looks at her bench crew to see like, what shall I do, and chooses to call it off. And she got, 8 points. More. Okay, 8 points. Let's see.
7 points for Oslo, 19 points for Vienna roller derby. At this moment, 1 blocker in the box for Oslo. Slight advantage there for Vienna, with action jamming for Vienna and torture for Oslo. And when you see the jammer moving all the way back, you cannot get on the track, back on track when you're hit out in front of the people who were in front of you at the moment of going off track. So Angshan is lead jammer, but Torture is about 3/4 or half a track behind. Angshan sees the opening and gets the message from the crew to call off the jam. Vienna gets the lead here.
Yeah. Mia Steele up against Picante, 13-14. It's a little bit of a race. Picante gets a penalty, and Oslo now have 2 in the penalty box. Vienna has 1.
This is a power jam in favor of Vienna. And Vienna is able to get out here and get their first points on the board in this jam. Nice hop there from Mia Steele.
Yes, a little bit of an apex jump there.
That is a legal pass, so all 4 points on the board for Mia Steele.
So Mia Steele is looking at her bench crew to see, shall I call it or shall I continue?
And Picante is back on track, but still on their initial pass.
She's up against Oslo's tripod. And she sneaks on the inside, but getting pushed out.
So if you get a penalty in your initial pass as a jammer and you come back from the penalty box, you still have to finish that initial pass because you have to legally pass all blockers from the opponent to have a full pass. This is the first scoring pass in this jam for Oslo. And you can very clearly hear the coach from Vienna counting down the call off. 3, 2, 1. Now you need to call off the jam because the other jammer is approaching and we don't want any more points for the other team. So jammers are the ones scoring points. Blockers, their first goal is to hold that jammer from the other team, but they can also help their own jammer. We see jammers doing their thing.
Yes.
And another lead jammer for Vienna.
Pixie Fox, 3-1-3.
Pixie Fox
going for points.
First scoring pass.
And Just Jeff has been pushed out and has to recycle. And Pixie Fox continues to, she has the lead, taking points.
Vienna so fast to reform in front of that jammer. and make their life very, very tough.
Pixie Fox goes on the inside.
Nice little side jump there for Pixie Fox. Yes, I'm sorry, mistaken there. And again, Vienna coming together in front of that jammer.
It's great blocker work, and just Jeff is kind of stuck. And the same with Pixie Fox at the moment. Just Jeff has taken off her star, trying to do a star pass, but it's hard.
And Pixie Fox around for another scoring pass.
Nice juke.
Is able to move through that wall of orange. And helmet cover on the floor for Oslo there. So Vienna, 16 points in that jam, makes 53. That's already quite a nice score after 13 minutes of gameplay. You see that they're making it very hard for Oslo to score points. And now back with Kiki Longskates jamming for Oslo. Oh, that was well seen. Kiki Longskates, lead jammer for Oslo.
And Angshen is coming and pushing, going through.
Angshen making sure that they get ahead, forcing that call off 0-0, sometimes mentioned as double donut jam.
That's new for me. Never heard it. So Torture is up for Oslo.
Against Mia Steele for Vienna. But Oslo with two blockers in the box has a slight disadvantage on track.
Yes, and you can see Vienna is starting way up.
And you hear the no pack call because skaters need to be, the link between the two teams need to be 10 feet, about 3 meters, and they can't just be apart. And that's also why Oslo got another penalty, because they were not fast enough to reform the pack. Because the team in the back needs to skate forward, and the team in the front needs to not move faster at the moment of the no pack call. The call off by Vienna makes that another scoring pass. 8 points in this jam makes 61 against 11, 50 points in this game right now.
And it seems like Pixie Fox is alone behind the line. Torture, Oslo's jammer, is in the box.
Oslo had that team timeout. A team timeout is 1 minute, and you have 3 team timeouts in a game, so you can decide for yourselves when to take it. Both teams also have an official review per half, which means that in the jam that just happened, you can put something up for discussion with the referees. Lead is given to Pixie Fox from Vienna. Torture still in the penalty box, now standing. That means that there is less than 10 seconds left on their penalty. Pixie Fox through for 4 points. And now Torture back on track. We have both jammers on track. Pixie Fox listening to the countdown to call off the jam, while Torture was approaching the pack, and no points given away there. The call off was on time. In favor of Vienna, of course. Oslo still trying to get maybe 1 point, but the call off made that impossible.
But now there are no players in the box.
And on the outside, it's Action as lead jammer for Vienna.
And Just Jeff gets through, and Action is coming up to the pack again and goes through.
And again, it's very clear to hear that countdown for the call off, and we were looking in the face of Action, ready to. I hear it, and there we go.
Yeah.
And that's a really clear communication from the bench.
And as a
like
jammer,
it.
that's really nice to have that clear voice.
Yeah. And we're getting ready for the 12th jam. 12 minutes, 50 seconds left in this first period. And on the front there, it's Picante. They get lead jammer for Oslo. Yes, you can definitely cheer for that. Mia Steele about half a track behind. And Oslo's bench crew is motioning, keep going.
Yeah, she looked at the crew and kept going.
Oh, nice there. Tiptoeing along that line from Picante. Picante now through for a second scoring pass. And Mia Steele sees the opening created on the inside there.
Picante getting pushed out, but calls off the jam. Just before Mia Steele gets to take any more points in the pack. So you do get a point for each person you pass in the pack after the first round.
And that's 12 points for Oslo Roller Derby against 8 points for Vienna. And that's a lead for Vienna with Pixie Fox. Torture getting a cut track penalty. That means that Torture stepped outside of the lines and in front of the person that blocked them out. The pivot for Oslo also on their way to the penalty box.
Great footwork from Pixie Fox. Up on her toes.
So great advantage here for Vienna with all their blockers helping their own jammer, and also one blocker advantage will also help that. And Pixie Fox around again, ducking under blocker number 46, Darkness. Torture coming around backwards. Nice pass there. And the bench coach coming in, because I did notice that Torture was still holding on to the helmet cover in their hand, so the point should not be awarded, and it is now retracted.
One of many rules in Derby.
Yeah, you can only score points with the star on your helmet, unless it's come off through gameplay, but this was taken off. That's
Kiki long skates.
Yeah. Torture chasing though.
Yeah,
Or
Ancient.
not Ancient, sorry, that's my mistake. I did warn you that I have played 2 games, my mind is a bit full, so if I'm messing up names, I'm so sorry.
So actually both teams got 3 points now because Ancient kind of got in high speed and came after Kiki long skates.
Yes.
So just
They were both in the pack.
meters from each other.
Yeah.
That's how it is. It's about being strategic about when to call off the jam.
Official timeout called here from the scoreboard. They are fixing something. 8 minutes and 43 seconds left on the clock in this first period. 26 points for Oslo Roller Derby, 100 points for Vienna Roller Derby.
So we can say something about the Derby is a physical sport, contact sport, but you are not allowed to push into the people on all places. Will you say something about where?
Yes, so the upper body is mostly what you are allowed to use and to hit on, except for on the middle of the back, or at least not get an advantage out of that. Just for safety reasons, you're not to be allowed to push on somebody's back, hit on somebody's back. And it's also not allowed to use the lower part of your legs or your arms to gain advantage on the other ones. So it's shoulders, hips, sides that you are allowed to use against the other players, and also to use on their upper body.
Yeah, and not the head either.
Not the head, no, not the head. You are not allowed to hit with the head or be hit in the head.
Then you go in the box.
Yeah, and if it's too bad, you risk getting expelled from the game, actually.
And in a game, how many times can you end up in the penalty box?
7 penalties is the maximum. When you get the 7th penalty, you are fouled out, and then you have to leave the game and sit in the bleachers and watch the game. Yeah. And it sometimes happens. I did notice in the last game that in the last jam, one of our opponents got their 7th penalty, but then it was already over, so there was no advantage gained for us.
Yeah.
That was too bad.
So in our team we call it you get hot if you get
6. And also the officials call it hot. When you're on the hot seat and you have 6 penalties, or already at 5, like maybe.
In our team then you have to probably sit.
Yeah. Not be put on the track.
Yeah.
Is it getting more clear about how the rules work for the new people? Yeah, okay.
What about the pivot, the stripe on the helmet? Have you talked about that?
No, I haven't talked about that. And we haven't seen very many star passes either yet. So the blocker with the stripy helmet cover, that's the one that's kind of a reserve jammer. The jammer is allowed to give their star to that person wearing the stripe, and then they will become the jammer. Pivots are not always happy with that. I see this pivot looking at me like, no. But, you know, it is sometimes a good way either to distract the other team, like, hey, you can take off that star and kind of play like you're going to hand it over to the jammer, and then the blockers of the other team have to kind of focus on two people, and sometimes the jammer then can still pass with the cover in hand, because then they're still in their first pass, usually.
But if you are stuck as a jammer, I would say, as a jammer myself, it's so great to be able to handle that star.
Yeah.
Especially if you're really tired.
Yeah, and then usually the other jammer has already gotten the lead, and then you cannot get lead anymore, so then it makes sense that you can take off your helmet cover, because it doesn't matter if you're legally passing all the blockers with the helmet cover on or off, because you can only get lead with the helmet cover on. And the getting lead is passing all the blockers legally. That means that you as a jammer are between the two black and yellow stripes, the track, and the blockers all have to be in bounds as well, to be able to pass them legally.
So the refs are talking. I guess it's about a certain situation.
I have no clue what they're talking about. Apparently, it's necessary to have a talk right now to stay fair and safe.
We do have a raffle, and we are drawing like the prizes in the break. So if you haven't bought your tickets, you can run down and buy them now. There's a lot of great prizes.
And it's a nice way to support Oslo Roller Derby, making more of these events happen.
Definitely.
Because maybe you don't know, but roller derby is all done by the skaters and the officials, paid for by the skaters and the officials. Traveling here is also paid by the skaters and the officials. So it's a how they say sometimes a self-made sport. And buying raffle tickets is one way to help make things happen a little bit easier financially.
Yes.
And you can win nice prizes, that's always fun!
And also, like this summer, it's happening something cool in roller derby world.
Yes, the World Cup is back!
Whoop, whoop. Yay!
Whoa. Yes, so Team Netherlands is already practicing a lot. How about Team Norway?
Yes, they are.
Yay! So that's exciting, and that's going to be happening in Austria, Innsbruck, Austria, in July. So teams are forming now, the national teams are forming and starting their pre-World Cup games against each other. We as Team Netherlands have played a couple of games already,
nice.
Getting ready. We have one more.
There are several national players here today. So
yes, Rotterdam is providing quite a nice amount of skaters for Team Netherlands.
And Oslo as well. And I guess Vienna is the same.
And Vienna the same, yes. We have played Vienna this past summer, as most of them, or a lot of them, are in Team Austria as well. Okay, we are back in the game again with Mia Steele getting lead jammer for Vienna.
And Just Jeff is coming straight behind.
Mia Steele now in the pack, scoring points and listening to that countdown.
She calls off just in time before Just Jeff could take any points.
3 points, so not all the blockers were passed. 3 points added to the score for Vienna Roller Derby. back on track jamming for Oslo is Torture, also a skater that's been doing roller derby for quite some time as myself.
Yes.
We had a little old school roller derby. We were face paint moment earlier.
She's one of the few with face paint today.
Yeah.
Looks quite scary.
What is happening now? Jammers switch for Vienna, so Mia Steele back, but in the penalty box.
Torture also has a history with the ice skating kunstskøyteløp.
Ha! Yes, and we see that Mia Steele is now in the penalty box. That means that this will be a power start in favor of Oslo.
So figure skating, that was the word.
Figure skating,
Yeah,
yes.
she has a history of being a figure skater. That's why you often can see her go backwards with the elegant arms.
Everybody moves at the 5 seconds to be surprising how it's going to happen. Nice offense there from Oslo, making it possible for Torture to get out really fast and get the lead. Mia Steele.
She is continuing, showing the sign, pointing her fingers. It means go around.
Oh, little jump on the outside there, but blocker from Vienna was able to hit Torture out of that line and having to recycle all the way back there.
Number 8.
Number 8, that's Torremoto. Torture through for another 4 points. This is a nice jam for Oslo. Mia Steele now also finishing their initial pass. Oh, but a penalty for Torture and a nice apex jump from Mia Steele turns this jam around.
Yes.
And Vienna getting ready to play some offense for their jammer. Mia Steele steps over that inside line though and needs to get back behind everybody.
It was Guns and Bosies who stopped her. Mia Steele's
that
fall.
was a rough fall.
Rough. And Torture is out again.
Vienna
Mia
blockers
Steele
ready
is
to catch Torture, pushing Torture just over that outside line. And end of the 2-minute jam. Because the lead jammer was sent to the penalty box, then we will have a 2-minute jam. 2 minutes is the maximum a jam can take, maximum amount of time the jam can take. And you lose your lead jammer status when you are sent to the penalty box.
But Oslo still got 12 points and Vienna 8.
So still a win for Oslo.
Yeah.
Good penalty kill there from Oslo. And back on track, jam 17. Oslo from the line stream.
Picante has the
And
lead.
that helped Oslo with Picante as the lead. It's quite hard for us to see the action at the start because there is a penalty board in the center of the track.
Yes.
Both jammers now approaching the pack. At 1 point there for Vienna. No points in that scoring pass for Oslo, but a 4-1 jam in favor of Oslo.
Yeah. Picante and Pixie Fox, I think, we took that 1 point.
And this is going to be a team timeout for Vienna.
But both Pixie Fox and Picante are quick jammers. Good on their toe stops, footwork,
Yes.
They're small, so they can like, yeah.
Yeah,
switch
and
around.
that's a nice thing about roller derby. Different body types have different strengths in this game. Also, jammers can be very different. My apologies to Wonder Zebra. Apparently it's called a scoring trip and not a scoring pass, and that apparently has changed in 2016. I've been doing this wrong since 2016. I'm so sorry. It was bugging Wonder Zebra. I will try to better my life. Whew. Getting told off by Wonder Zebra as an announcer. I've never. Oslo from the live stream still active, in my phone at least.
So Ancient is stuck in Oslo's tripod. And
Lots
just
of
Jeff
people down there in turn
now
one.
stuck in Vienna's tripod. Try to spin again. So there are different tools you can use to get out from the tripod.
Oslo getting a little stronger there on Action. And Just Jeff is out first, lead for Oslo. Action now about third track behind. And was there any scoring in this scoring trip?
Scoring trip. So it also was a penalty with a low block, with a skate on Just Jeff's foot, so she fell, and then it was a penalty. But now Just Jeff also got in the penalty box, and we do not know why.
Okay, power start in favor of Vienna with Flisby. Quick lead there.
Flisby is also a fast jammer. We have seen her in the last game against Rotterdam, taking many points.
And Flisby out for their fourth scoring trip. I'll be saying it very much now. And I think we all could hear the bench coach from Vienna saying that the jammer from Oslo is released from the penalty box and back on track. Oslo getting ready to catch Flisby there. Flisby finding a little bit of opening, but Oslo reforming in front. Flisby out for a third scoring trip. A direction call means that either it was a stop block or a blocking into the direction that it's not supposed to happen. You can only block in the direction of the skating. Flisby out for another scoring trip. A star pass.
Yes, star pass.
So now we see it happening. The star is exchanged to the pivot.
And it's Katla Nightmare. And then we hear call it from the bench crew.
Which means still 2 points because it was a little bit late, that call off for that pivot turned jammer.
Katla Nightmare, which was a pivot for Oslo, got the star and she took 2 points. But Vienna still got 20 points, so.
That was a 20-point jam, people. That's one of the highest scoring jams in this game, I think.
Yes.
We've had 16. So, final jam of this first period, probably, don't say it, it's definite. And that's torture jamming for Oslo and lead given to Pixie Fox. Torture out about half a track behind. Potentially one scoring pass. Oh, both teams putting points on the board because Pixie Fox was hit, fell down. The first call off wasn't completely seen or completed. So both teams scoring 3 points in this last gem of the first half. In about 14 minutes and 40 seconds, we will start the second period with a 49 against 136 point on the scoreboard. And okay, we're about ready to go again. Let me update you on the official review at the end of that first half. Oslo was asking for the 3 points for Vienna in that jam to be retracted. They did not think those 3 points should be awarded, but the 3 points stay on the board. There was also a discussion about points in jam 13. Apparently there were 4 points given that should not have been awarded. They have not been taken off this scoreboard now, but they will be taken off on the official paperwork. So we are about ready to start this second period again. Vienna racing to the track to hope to have superior positioning. They definitely want that jammer line side of the blocking there. And we have started with Torture lead jammer for Oslo Roller Derby. And Pixie Fox recycled back to turn 4 there, taking off the star and potentially passing that star to the pivot. And in that moment, Pixie Fox saw the opening, so still jamming for Vienna. Torture going for another scoring trip and finishing that scoring trip actually, while Pixie Fox is in their first scoring trip and stuck. Nice apex jump there from Torture, putting another 4 points on the board. Oslo having their defense be strong on Pixie Fox, and the call off. Nice jam there by Torture, 16 points added to the score of Oslo, 4 for Vienna, making 65 against 140.
That's Oslo's best jam for now with most points.
And just to be sure that everybody knows what's happening, the drawing of the raffle will be at the end of the game. Sorry for misinforming you.
Yes, sorry.
And Kiki Long Skates jamming for Oslo now in the front of the pack. Angshan in the back of the pack. It's Kiki Long Skates out first. 2 lead jams for Oslo in a row. That will help their game and their mental game as well. Kiki Long Skates in the pack and calling off that jam. Was able to pass 3 blockers, adding...
Did Angshan get any points there, you think? Maybe?
I don't see it signaled by the jammer referee, so 3 against 0 in that jam. Every jammer has their own referee actually, so they are the ones holding up the points. Official timeout there.
And for all the people watching, you are allowed to cheer and shout.
If you have a favorite skater or a favorite team, let them know.
Yeah,
your
energy, they need your support.
Helps the people on the track. We're back with Mia Steele and Just Jeff with the stars on their helmets. Mia Steele is the first out, lead for Vienna. And Just Jeff being recycled back a little bit by the Vienna blockers.
We can't see that much because of the board.
I did see that though. I did not see who it was, but I did see them
Mia
skating
Steele
back.
have the lead. Just Jeff is in the tripod.
Mia Steele finds an opening on the outside, puts another 4 points on the board for Vienna.
And we do have a star pass to Feline, Fatal Feline. Gets the star for Oslo.
Also a skater that's been skating for a long time.
Yes. Also on the national team. Points to Vienna.
3 jams in this second period. We are starting the 4th jam. 26 minutes left in this second period.
And
full contingency of skaters on track.
There has been few penalties in the start of the game.
And Picante finds the opening on the outside. Lead for Oslo. Flisby now also out of the pack and about half a track behind. Picante now in the pack, calling off, was able to pass 3 blockers, 3 points for Oslo.
Action up against Torture. And Oslo do have 1 blocker in the penalty box, the pivots.
And Action in the front there, Torture being recycled back, and Action able to stay inbounds with that pushing jump blocker, lead for Vienna. Torture now trudging through that wall, finds a little opening on the outside, but Viennese blocker reforming in front. Torture now out. Well, Action gets hit over that outside line and gets the countdown for call off. Was Action able? Yes, 3 fingers in the air from the jammer ref there. 3 blockers passed.
It was a little shoulder game pushing on each other between the blockers, Vienna and Oslo. That's how it is.
Now it's a little bit turned around now. Vienna has 1 blocker in the penalty box, so slight advantage blocker-wise for Oslo. And we have Mia Steele and Kiki Longskates jamming. Mia Steele being recycled back there by number 7-3 May Boodle. Kiki Longskates lead for Oslo. Nice push there by Kiki, forcing that call for the out of play. And when you are out of play, you are not allowed to block anymore.
Kiki getting pushed out, have to go back, recirculate. And she's
now
doing it.
Able to stay inbounds.
We do have Vienna's jammer, Mia Steele, on the bench, or in the penalty box. Standing up, getting ready to go out of the box.
And Oslo freezing. Oh, not on time though. Trying to freeze the jammer of Vienna in the penalty box, but Mia Steele was released. They were trying to start the next jam as a power start, but both jammers now are allowed on track.
It's not always that easy when you're a jammer and running with your back against the bench crew to know what to do. I can say that.
Yes, I've been a jammer the first half of my derby career.
Yes, so you know.
Yes, I know. Just Jeff lead for Oslo.
And just Jeff has the lead, going for some points. And Vienna's frisbee is coming out from the penalty box. Just Jeff continues.
Taking a tumble, but was out of the pack.
But Flisbee is coming behind.
With a nice turn, was able to get out of the pack. Two points in that scoring trip for Oslo, making it 14 points in this jam. Second highest jam for Oslo. And it looks like we will have a team time out being gestured now with the jam timer, but it's already an official timeout. So their coach is waiting. So if I read the body language correctly, there will be an official, or after the official timeout, there will be a team timeout potentially, but maybe not, because the skaters are coming back and it's already, they did their thing on their bench during this official timeout. We see people standing and sitting in the penalty box, one each. So we see 3 blockers on track for both teams.
Yes, one of each team.
And that's Picante for Oslo, jamming, and that looks like Pixie Fox for Vienna. So shout outs to Jeff and Barbara
from the live stream.
And Picante calls it off and is happy with that jam. Big smiles there by Picante. And Oslo is also over the 100-point mark, 101 against 154.
I don't know what they ate in the break. But
yeah, Oslo's coming back strong in this second period, making it a lot more difficult for Vienna. And we see Angshan and Torture with the stars on the helmet. Angshan is able to stay inbounds on that inside line and gets lead jammer for Vienna. Torture takes a little wipe out there, but gets up and chases Angshan to put the pressure on. Oh, after the call off, a little tumble there, but the full 4 points earned there by Angshan.
So we did see some great blocker work from Rosie de Runer, and she actually has her 40th game today. A little bit of cheer for that. Yeah, that's really cool.
I've never really counted my games. I don't know how many. 14 years. That's it.
Woo! So Kiki is in the tripod to Vienna.
Mia Steele there, a little bit behind, but finds the opening on the, no, is over that inside line and recycles back to stay safe and clean.
And Kiki is fighting, and also Mia.
Both jammers fighting hard to get out there first.
It's all about finding those openings.
Kiki Longskates now has 3 blockers to pass, with the pivot for Vienna having to go to the penalty box.
So Kiki is getting some help from Feline to get through.
Oh, just before Mia Steele got out of the pack, but had to still pass their own blockers. Kiki Longskates became the lead jammer and now calls off the jam. Nice posing there, Kiki. Draw me like one of the French girls.
It actually woke up the audience. So we need more poses, people.
17 and a half minutes left in this game. 101 against 158. There were no points in that jam. Was there a point? No, there was no point.
Pixie. Yeah, just Jeff. Pixie Fox.
Just Jeff in the front there, being pushed over that inside line. The drawback from 247 Bella Ciao makes it possible for Just Jeff to become a lead jammer. Nice forceful entry in the pack there is Just Jeff's first scoring trip.
Wow, that was great.
Flisby still doing that little apex jump, but that was after the whistle, so no points for Vienna. 8 points for Oslo.
So when that blocker comes to hit you, it's so important as a jammer that you kind of brace.
Yeah. Tighten your core,
Yes.
stay in bounds.
Maybe do a little bit of sound.
Yeah. And we see Action and Picante jamming against each other again. It's Action, seemed to be out first, but getting a penalty, a high block, and it is a happy Picante again. Power jam.
Doing some movements with her arms.
That also means that Vienna is on full defense because they do not have to help their own jammer at this point. And no pack call there. A failure to reform going to number 4-6 from Oslo. Picante around for another scoring trip. Some help from their friends. High block, another one for Vienna. Action finishing their initial pass with the star in hand. And that is the signal for Picante. I'm finishing my scoring trip and then calling off the jam.
And Vienna did have a game before this one against Rotterdam. And they won against Rotterdam, and Rotterdam won against London earlier today.
Yes, exciting things. And it does show you maybe that 2 games in a row, it is tough. And Oslo is coming in fresh. And what you said, like, what did they eat in the halftime? Because they're coming back strong in this second period. Mia Steele out just in front of Torture. So lead jammer for Vienna. Vienna 2 blockers on the track. And Oslo 3 blockers on the track. And Torture is monetizing that best right now. Oh, cut track for Mia Steele means this is now a power jam for Oslo. Torture hoping to get through with that offense, but Vienna reforming very fast, now able to finish that scoring trip. Oslo really being a strong team now in this second period and making it a lot harder for Vienna to play their game. Nice pass there from Torture.
She got some good help from some of the blockers. Doing offense, and Mia Steele is on the field again. Will she get some help from her blocker friends?
And with Mia Steele starting this jam as a lead jammer, but going to the penalty box. This is a 2-minute jam, 24 seconds left in this jam. Torture back on a scoring trip. But Mia Steele almost staying in bounds, but
she got a hit in her chin, and she said she was pointing at her chin, so she got a little impact there.
$20 points for Oslo, their highest scoring jam right now. And making this a lot closer again, 137 against 165. It's been a while since this game was this close. Let's see what Oslo can do in the last 12 minutes in this game, if they can keep this momentum going, but because they're really, really getting closer to
A lot can
Vienna.
happen in Derby. So we have been talking about that in the early games, and we do not know what's going to happen.
28 points in this game right now. And when you see that this jam was 20 points, it could change in 1 or 2 jams. So we see Flisby and Kiki Long skates behind the jammer line with the stars on their helmets. Nice wave there, Kiki.
It's like going in to be the audience favorite, posing and waving.
Blocker advantage though for Vienna, 4 for them on track, 1 in the box for Oslo.
I think maybe.
Good moment to catch your breath. Slow down your heart rate. I need it myself a little bit.
Me too.
Because this is looking like a very exciting game.
So, I mean, it's still 12 minutes and 24 seconds. Bench coaches are talking on both teams, discussing what to do. And the medics, They are having a boring time, but that's good.
Happy about that?
We are happy about that. We have had 0 accidents today, injuries. That's really good.
So the officials are making sure that the penalties have been correct up till now. So they're checking and double checking. That's what's happening right now.
Do you think that the VAR is coming to Derby? For the ones that does not watch football, it's yeah, they do the review.
I
on
hope
video.
not,
Yeah.
because it's already, yeah. Then we have to look at images and I mean, for the stream you have a different view, I guess, than for referees. I think it's just too complicated because then all the refs should wear cameras to actually have their point of view, because that also can make a difference if somebody gets a penalty or not, because they have the view from the inside and from the outside. You see that there's 7 refs actually, 3 on the outside, 1 in front, 1 at the center of the pack, 1 from the back, looking at all the angles, how you can see penalties happen. Then the jammer refs follow the jammers. They can actually see also the comparison with the blockers, if they actually pass their hips with their hips at an angle. It's not always a good view, so that's why you see the jammer refs skating with the jammer, so they always have that sideways view at a straight angle on the track. And then on the inside you also have refs a little bit in front and in the center of the pack, also to have all those different angles to make sure that it's safe, that it's fair, and that we can play the game. Because without referees, this game could get really ugly. And as you may have noticed, referees are skating in black and white. Then we have non-skating officials in black. They keep all the data. So after a game, we can actually look at all the data and have analysis with all that data of penalties. That's what they're discussing now, of who was on the track against which jammer, who was most successful, who was maybe a little less successful, or so that's also for coaches, nice information to analyze their teams and analyze games. So we're very happy that we have all these officials here to help us play this game. And they are ready, almost ready with discussing. So when they are ready, I'm gonna ask for a shout out for them. So be ready to cheer for the officials when they're done talking. That's the signal. I want a big cheer for our officials. And there's also some volunteers helping with the track maintenance. Give a shout out to the volunteers helping out, organizing this whole event. Merch stand people. Okay, the jam is on. Let's focus on the track. It's Kiki long skates and Flisbee jamming. All blockers are back on track with Feline coming back from the penalty box. And it is Flisbee who is awarded lead, but they are making sure that they stay legal because I think they felt maybe the line. Flisbee around now and through that first trip through the pack, the initial trip. And Kiki long skates sitting down in the penalty box which means that this is a power jam. And Vienna ready to receive Kiki long skates back in their wall. Flisbee through their scoring trip, and Kiki long skates now almost finishing that initial trip, now able to get out. And you then see that jammer referee crossing their hands in front of them, meaning that they do not get the lead.
It's really good. I'm often amazed of Flisbee's, she finds the small holes, always. So that's really impressive.
10.5 minutes left in this game. We see Pixie Fox and Just Jeff, if I'm correct, ready to jam. And everybody is on the track. Empty penalty box, just Jeff pushing and stepping in the front there. Pixie Fox doing the same thing in the back. A little similarity in the body type there. And it's just Jeff out of the pack and lead jammer for Oslo. Star pass on the blue side of things. Number 8 now jammer Torremoto, but the jam is called off after 2 points awarded.
Torremoto is also a quick, fast blocker, so perfect for being a pivot. Picante against Action. And also have one pivot feline in the box.
Action taking a little bit of a run up and able to get through that center of that pack. But Picante not very far behind, giving a little bit of pressure there for Action to call it off quickly when entering that pack and keeping the score limited to 2 points. Easy math on the scoreboard, 40-point game. So Vienna coming back after that long timeout. Coming back, 3 points awarded to Vienna because there was one skater in the penalty box, and they then also get the point on that blocker. Multiplayer called on somebody on 247, Bella Ciao from Vienna.
And Torture, the jammer for Oslo, also got a cut and in the penalty box.
So this is now a power jam in favor of Vienna with Mia Steele jamming. Oslo locking Mia Steele down there. Vienna now coming in to help their jammer, and Mia stepping over that inside line, being recycled back behind that pivot line. So effective defense there from Oslo, and that is what we call a penalty kill. Torture back on track now, while Mia Steele is also still in the pack. And there we see those figure skating skills.
Yep.
Backwards. Woo, woo, woo. And another time, Orgy trying to catch Torture, but Torture's skating away so fast. Oh, this is how I know Torture. Very successful. And Mia Steele trying to get out of that pack, but again hits over that inside line and having to get back in line behind that wall of orange. Torture now again in that scoring trip. Mia Steele now finishing their initial trip. A very successful Oslo jam after Torture getting that penalty, still able to put 12 points on the board against 0 for Vienna. And that's a team timeout for Vienna, making that score a little bit closer again. 29 points, am I correct?
So what can we expect Vienna talking about now? Like
Yeah, they are talking about their defense probably, and maybe also their offense, because it was a no scoring in that jam for Mia Steele. Mia Steele was stuck behind Oslo for all the time. And the penalty kill was really good. So when they had that power jam, I'm guessing they would say we should have scored points in that in those 30 seconds.
And what is important for Oslo now?
Oslo needs to stay strong. Their defense is looking good and they have to keep that up. If they want to close that little gap of 29 points, it's not much, but it's 6 minutes left in this game. Anything you saw that you want to share?
I'm just exciting for the next 6 minutes.
So Vienna, a little advantage of one blocker more on the track. We see Kiki long skates on the outside. And this is Flisby out first though, but Kiki long skates putting the chase in. Flisby,
she's a fast skater coming in the pack.
Making that distance between them and Kiki a little bit larger. So creating
safe choice.
Creating some time to score 3 points in this jam. And we see a familiar matchup behind the jammer line there. Just Jeff
Pixie Fox.
and Pixie Fox. And just Jeff finding it out in the front against that wall of blue. And Pixie Fox pushing the wall of Oslo now to the front. So that's good push. The switcheroo, and it is Pixie Fox out first, lead jammer.
So Pixie Fox is strong, and she made it through the Oslo wall.
And we're also familiar with the countdown for the call-off. To be safe and not have the other team score points. Another 3 points for Vienna. Low scores, but still good enough to stay ahead if you keep the other team at 0. So we're at 4 minutes. So you have 4 minutes chance to lose your voice. Picante and Action. Action one to pass and another one to pass. Is out as lead already, but now, oh, that's a penalty there for number 46, blocking when out of play. Picante now also out of the pack and putting the pressure on Action. It started with the 3, but then the call came already.
So how far from the pack can you be when you block out the opponents?
So when there is a pack, that means that there is a link between the two teams of 10 feet or less. And when there is a pack, the most forward skater can be away 20 feet, so about 6 meters. And when you look at the track, you see in the middle of the track where they skate, you see little stripes of black and yellow, that's the 10 feet markers for the referees to have a sense of what is actually 10 feet. And also for the skaters, they can use it as well. So we see Torture and Flisby both very close to each other there, but it is Torture who is already awarded now and out of the pack. Star Pass on the Vienna side. November Pain, now the jammer, formerly known as the Pivot. Okay, quick call off there. Just 1 point for Torture.
2 minutes left.
190 for Vienna Roller Derby, 152 for Oslo. A little under 2 minutes left in this game. It would be possible. If you cheer, it may be possible for Oslo. It's a lot to cover, but we've seen they can score 20 points. So if they have 2 jams of 20 points, it is still possible.
Maybe. We'll see.
Let's go, Kiki. Yes. Pray to the Derby gods. And it does help when you cheer for
The clock has now stopped.
your skaters. It's an official time. It's a team timeout for Oslo. Thank you, Jam Timer, for making it very clear whose timeout this is. Yes. And we can also, of course, look at the scoreboard, because behind the score there are dots, and there's now 1 dot flashing, and that's the team that is taking the timeout. 10 euro are the sweaters for Rotterdam Roller Derby. Size small and medium are 10 euros right now.
Bye.
Yes, merch, buy merch. That's also a way to support teams. Okay, we're getting ready for this 20-second jam in this second period of this third game of this first day of this tournament. And we see Kiki long skates jamming for Oslo, and that's Pixie Fox. Oh, everybody down. Pixie Fox jamming for Vienna. Oh, Kiki long skates has to go to the penalty box for a forearm penalty. That means that Pixie Fox is the only jammer on track. This is a power jam. Pixie Fox, lead jammer for Vienna. Another blocker for Oslo to the penalty box. So quite some advantage for Vienna, and Pixie Fox out with barely any contact. Kiki long skates back on track on their initial trip through the pack, and Pixie Fox calling it off after the countdown. 8 points, very close to the 200-point mark for Vienna. A team timeout called by Oslo to make sure that we have another jam. When the clock is under 30 seconds, which is the amount of seconds that you have for lining up your next skaters, when it's under the 30 seconds, you can force another jam when you call a timeout. So that's what happened. Stop the clock at 22 seconds. And we will have another jam in this game. And of course, these are sanctioned games, so even though when you are behind, points are still important. So Oslo wants to score points in this jam and keep Vienna from scoring points, but of course, Vienna wants it the other way around. So maybe cheer.
And maybe stand up. Hey!
Get ready for the last jam of this day. And we have Action and Just Jeff jamming. Everybody is back on track. Just Jeff in the front is able, no! A cut track though for Just Jeff. So Action still able to become
one arm down, that's
lead
allowed.
jammer.
Two are not. She's pushing
And
through.
that's what's happening now. Lead for Action for Vienna. Action in the pack, 2 blockers to pass. Vienna keeping 1 blocker as we call it, as a goat, stuck behind to keep the pack formation in the back. So their jammer, oh, nice. Just Jeff back on track, making Action's life a little bit harder there. And both jammers want to put points on the board for those sanction points. And Just Jeff now out of their initial trip. Action on a scoring pass, and
You
now
can clap,
calling it
clap,
off,
clap,
making
clap.
sure no points for Oslo in this jam.
And if the audience come down to the line, we are having some high five ending of this game. Everyone down to the line. And after that we will have the raffle drawing.
So
Everyone down to the line.
get your hands ready, and maybe in your other hand have your raffle tickets ready.
And if you do have some juniors that want to play derby, the 23rd of November, you can send them to Hagenstua.
That's the end signal, the score. And that's the final score. That means that the skaters are ready to give you high fives. Let me hear you for Oslo Roller Derby and Vienna Roller Derby! Whoop, whoop, whoop! Thank you, Oslo Roller Derby, for this first day of this beautiful tournament. Organizing things like this is not an easy thing.